All right, if you're not outraged by this, you are a literal paid Blizzard shill. This is basically the setup here. Let's have a look. Let me move this just a teeny bit so you guys can see it better. That's the premise. That's the premise of this whole situation right now. Get to the bottom of this. All right, so Blizzard says, "Hello, everyone." This is on WoWHead, by the way. Shout out to WoWHead. Hello, everyone. We want to take a moment to discuss some of our philosophies around the shop, Hearthsteel, and our plans around housing items acquisition. Before diving too far in, it's important to define what Hearthsteel is. Hearthsteel is a new virtual currency for World of Warcraft being added in the Midnight expansion. It's purchased with real money. Real money in my games? Using your Battle.net balance, and used in turn to buy housing items from the Battle.net shop and in-game shop. So it goes from real money to Battle.net balance to Hearthsteel, then to housing items. The Battle.net shop and in-game shop. All right. Did you guys know that WoW had an in-game shop? I feel like I've never used that thing. So philosophy and guiding principles. At the top level, our main priority is making housing fun and player-friendly. Something that can be enjoyed by players of all kinds. To that end, here are a number of our guiding principles. The vast, all caps, vast majority of housing items are, and will continue to be, earnable in-game. Only a small fraction is available for purchase from the shop. This is like the same thing. The vast, vast majority of transmog, mounts, whatever items are and will continue to be earnable in-game. So far, it's like, this is the same thing that we already have. It's just for housing instead of transmog, mounts, pets, or whatever. Cool. Comparing this number against collectibles, such as mounts, is a good metric here. With more than 1,000 mounts earnable in-game and only a few dozen from the shop. Okay, yeah, sounds about right. Housing items tied to core fantasies of a player's race or class, or that already exist in Azeroth, won't be sold in the shop. Right. Thematically important decor that players know and love will also not appear in the shop. Right, so, like, you can't naturally earn a BlizzCon onesie in the game, right? So, but maybe you can buy it. Or yeah, maybe sometimes you can. Is that onesie thing that you can get earnable in game? Anyway. Gotcha, I understand. Anything that doesn't break like immersion. Alright, all housing items in the shop will be available for individual purchase. While we'll sometimes offer sales on bundles of items for a limited time, you shouldn't feel like you have to spend money now or risk missing something you want. There you go, so the anti-FOMO. Costs in the shop are clearly defined. The ratios of Hearthsteel to real money are fixed and easily understood at a glance. Great. You should be able to obtain an amount that makes sense for the purchases you want to make. Excellent. Similarly, the cost of items are designed to align with Hearthsteel offer amounts in a player-friendly way. Buying Hearthsteel at the amount you want lets you purchase the items you want without requiring you to think about which packs should be added together to minimize leftovers. So, again, that's another one of those things that you guys were mentioning. Like, you don't want to have a situation where you have to buy, like, 2 packs to get 1 item. They're directly, engaging with that concern, right? They're also directly engaging with the concern that you're gonna, like, have to figure out, okay, so, like, $5 gets me, like, 1,836 Hearthsteel, like, huh? It's probably gonna be, like, $5 gets you, like, 500 Hearthsteel or something like that, right? Alright, the shop user interface is straightforward and easy to understand. Hearthsteel should integrate cleanly into the Battle.net existing economy. This means not just being able to purchase it in-game on the web or in the launcher, but it should also be compatible with the normal flow of the WoW token, letting you earn gold in-game and then use that gold to ultimately purchase Hearthsteel via the WoW token. Bruh! You can literally buy this stuff with the WoW token. You can literally buy Hearthsteel with gold. What are we fussing about? GG! What are we mad about? Hearthsteel is for housing. We currently have no plans to use it for the trading post, mounts, transmogs. Why are we fussing about this? It's literally for gold. GG. All right, well, good to know that. That's awesome. Yeah. Why a virtual currency? This was one of the first things we heard the community discussing. Why bother when we already have a Battle.net balance? It's important to note that when dealing in transactions involving real money, a more deliberate and cautious process needs to be implemented to provide appropriate financial protections for both parties. That's true, for sure. GG. This can be an inefficient, inconvenient, and often tedious process when a player wants to purchase multiple items. Smaller housing items in the shop are often low cost, and players will want to purchase multiples of them to complete a set. As an example, you may want a full set of chairs to place around a dining table. Multiple place settings for your invited guests, or even many candles to help decorate the room for a complete look. Using an in-game currency can help make the process of obtaining many of these types of inexpensive items more efficient. Okay, interesting. You may already have seen hints of this on the Alpha or public test realm. So I haven't been playing the housing stuff in the Alpha yet, but maybe we can take a look and see if that helps you guys understand what's going on. But we're adding a housing catalog to the housing UI, which allows players to view all potential housing decor, earnable, purchasable, special promotions, and so on. It lets you not only preview it in the UI, but also place a temporary version in your home as well. That's good. So you can see how it fits in before deciding if you want to spend time tracking it down or purchasing it from the shop. Yeah, that's nice. So it's not like a transmog. You can see what it looks like on your character in like the character kind of like thing, but you don't actually get to see what it's like when you're running around in your character. So actually seeing it in-game in your house would be different. That's good. It's good. Wrap it up. We've said it before, and we'll keep saying it, but please keep your feedback coming. We're so excited to continue to share more about the future of housing in the coming weeks and months. So, again, does this make you guys feel a little bit better about the situation? We talked about it a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're going to have to spend real money to get access to the vast majority of housing. It's like they might sell something kind of goofy in the shop, and if you're like, oh, that looks kind of funny, I'll put that in my house. Then that's good. But if you kind of want to keep your house like lore appropriate, like no immersion breaking, like you're gonna have like cool achievement related furniture or decorations or whatever related to your characters, you know, achievements or race or whatever, it doesn't sound like that's gonna be the kind of thing that you're gonna have to spend money on. They're gonna probably continue to like again like mounts, like they're gonna have cool mounts that you earn in the game, and there's gonna be like a goofy mount that you can buy from the store or something like that, right? And Hearthsteel is available for like gold, basically, right? Let me look at that again. So, where was that? So it should integrate cleanly into the existing Battle.net economy. This means not just being able to purchase it in-game on the web, sure, whatever. But it should be compatible with the normal flow of the WoW token, letting you earn gold in-game and then use that gold to ultimately purchase Hearthsteel via the WoW token. So you earn gold in-game, buy a WoW token, use the WoW token to buy Hearthsteel. If you really desperately wanted that really funny like chair, you know, that you want to put in your house. You're like, dang, I really want that chair. Well, guess what you can do? You can farm gold and buy the Hearthsteel. Essentially, you can buy that chair for gold. That's cool. I mean, are we good? I feel like that hopefully should make some people feel better. I mean, I'm not like super fussed about this kind of thing. I mean, I don't use the Trader's Tender either that much. I certainly don't use it enough to need to buy Trader's Tender for real money, which I guess they don't even do, by the way. I was like, I've seen Trader's Tender being part of like packs that you can buy, like the upgrade packs or whatever, but I was like, it just looks like Trader's Tender, but even better, I guess you can just straight up buy it for gold. That's pretty sweet. They're making it needlessly complicated. Well, I mean, I feel like they're trying to explain, like, I didn't get like a super clear explanation of like why. It's important to note that when dealing in transactions involving real money, a more deliberate and cautious process needs to be implemented to provide an appropriate financial protections for both parties. So it's probably this part right here. Providing appropriate financial protections. So it's like more layers of purchasing ends up protecting Blizzard and potentially you as well, but probably mostly Blizzard, maybe? Where it's like, if you try to refund something, then there's different layers of where like they can't scam you and you can't get scammed because there's a couple different like layers of purchasing. Maybe? Does that kind of make sense? I mean, I guess if you're spending real money to get a currency to get an item, then there's like this little in between where like people are protected, right? Like you're having to put both of the trades in a window, right? What's that called? There's a really easy word for that. What's that called? Escrow. So it's like an escrow, kind of, right? There's like Hearthsteel is escrow for your house in WoW. Yeah, escrow. Yeah. So I will remain cautiously skeptical until I see it in live. That's absolutely fine, but hopefully people are a little bit less like inflamed by the idea that WoW is adding a resource that costs real money in game. Although again, they're doing it in a really smart way, I think, where it's it's compatible with the WoW token. So any fussery is like, hey, you can buy this stuff with gold essentially, which is also really cool. Lets you buy really cool items in game with gold. I like that. So if you wanted to spend a whole bunch of crazy money on your house, you just got to make some gold. Yeah, not an issue. Let's play the game. I mean, that sounds good to me. I just, you know, people were kind of getting a little bit worked up in chat about it, so I thought we ought to take a look. And this also educates me on the situation. I think that like the real GG part of it is the WoW token part. Just buy it for gold. If people want a whole lot of extra, you know, cool stuff and funny stuff that they're gonna sell in the shop to generate more money for the game that we all love, except for the people who just look for. There are definitely people. What I first said when we first started talking about this is I think the Hearthsteel thing is mostly going to be people who don't play WoW, who don't really know what's going on, get a sniff of something, and then just try to get mad about it. And I think that's, upon further investigation, I think that's definitely the case. So, all right. Anyway, I'm interested to hear what you guys think, both in the stream and we'll put this all on YouTube, and you guys can talk about it in the chat. But yeah, I think it really makes sense to me. They're gonna put a whole lot of work into a whole lot of cool housing stuff that you will naturally earn in game. And if there are some special things or fun things or goofy things that don't really fit normally, like the vibe of like earning it in WoW, like some immersion breaking things, then you know, then they can sell that from the shop just for funsies. And if you really want it really badly, you can pay gold for it, or you can spend some real money on it if you wanted to. So I don't know. I'm not real bent out of shape about it, I suppose. Seems to make sense to me. GG.